And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. We are live. Good evening, good sir.
Good evening. Uh, as we're recording, we're also both watching the Eagles and Cowboys. And what a pathetic play that just happened right there. Sorry to open up that way, but that's just pathetic.
And Mike McCarthy's won a Super Bowl, folks.
Like I sit here and told Nicole, is that Mike McCarthy is not a bad coach. It's I just don't know what is it the talent? I mean, it's talent there, but then right now you're on your third string quarterback, but they wasn't even playing that well
Are
with
we
that. I
playing
mean,
football or are we playing soccer? What's going on
I don't know what's going
here? Well, there's no whistles, there's no flags,
on. That's
there's
clearly
no signals. We got someone doing the snowman in the end zone,
okay. He was down by
and
contact, clearly.
let's see here. Oh dear God! Just straight through the gap. Just part the Red Sea. Why don't you?
Oh, was he
Oh,
offside? They missed the offsides. They clearly missed an offsides.
well, most of this show, ladies and gentlemen, will be mainly about the week that was the NFL season. There is something I have to get off my chest. Um, even though this happened a week ago, it is still grinding my gears. Now,
Okay, Griffin.
no, well, as a baseball lifer, as a baseball man, as a baseball fan, this just irritates me to my soul. Okay, I could care less about the Dodgers winning the World Series. Unfortunately, they're very talented, and unfortunately, eventually, it was going to happen, as I was telling all my Dodger friends, because that team is just too damn good, and then adding Mookie Betts just really was the icing on the cake.
Well,
With
they
that
spent
said,
their money. I mean, it should have been winning. You ask me.
but with that said, and here comes the petty part because I'm a Giants fan. Do it in a 162 regular game season like the Giants did 3 times last decade. Thank you very much.
It never happened.
Okay, okay. With that said, Game 6. Okay. Yes, the Dodgers won the game. Yes, the Dodgers clinched. Yes, the Dodgers won the World Series. But for the life of me, I will never understand why, in the absolute asinine blue hell, did Kevin Cash take out Blake Snell when Blake Snell by far was throwing the best he's ever thrown, and we're even talking about better than his Cy Young Award season of 2018.
Well,
Okay,
you know why.
and we're gonna get into my highly dislike of analytics and sabermetrics, and as one of our fellow Fairfield alums by the name of Mr. Angel Gote told me the night that it happened, he said, and I quote, sabermetrics can go to hell. And I said, I agree with you 1010%.
Yeah.
Any coach or manager, no matter what sport you're in, one of the traits that you need to have as a coach and a manager is a feel for the game and a feel for, okay, what are my guys? Okay, what am I seeing? What is as you say the eye test? What is my eyes telling me? What am I noticing? What kind of momentum or what how can I dissect my chessboard? Okay.
Correct.
There is absolutely nothing. No computer, no numbers, no stats, no metric. There is nothing, absolutely nothing that says to me I need to go take my ace out the game after 73 pitches, 9 strikeouts, and you only give up 2 hits.
With no
And
with
then,
with no trouble. He wasn't in no danger. He never made the game a stressful type of. He was never in a stressful inning, I would say.
No walks, and you have the Dodger lineup going back to the dugout, shaking their head as if to say, "I have no answer.
I don't see it. I can't see the ball.
I can't hit the ball. I cannot square up and make contact." Not to mention, the top of the order, their three best hitters, in Betts, Seager, and Turner, were a combined 0 for 6 with 6 strikeouts, each man striking out twice. What? And then, but I go back to a point that Alex Rodriguez said 2 years ago back in 2018 when he said, and I quote, "Scripted baseball does not win in October." And it doesn't.
True.
You name me a time where a doggone computer or a script or some damn typing and punching some numbers, let me know when that won a World Series. It's okay. I got all the time in the world to wait. You send me an email when you figure it out. You let me know.
Well, obviously, we can clearly see that this analytics has cost the Rays a game because the moment they took out their ace, the Dodgers were seeing the ball again.
But that's the thing. The 2 runs that they scored to go ahead that he eventually ended up winning them the game in the series, they scored twice without the benefit of a hit. One was a wild pitch, the other was a contact play, but because Mookie Betts is so doggone fast, it's like Ricky Henderson is running from third, and even if the throw was perfect, you're not getting them.
That's correct. Yeah. Now, see, that was money well spent on Mookie Betts. I was ever say that the Dodgers, they've been spending money for a few years, but they finally got it right by getting as a face mask. They finally got it right with Mookie Betts because if you want to get technical, he saved a lot of runs with his catching.
Oh, his
throws. I mean, he robbed at least about 3 home runs in that series.
Yes,
easy, and he made it look like it was a walk in the park.
Yes, his defense was outstanding. But like King Griffin Jr. said,
excuse me as I pour a shot of Hennessy. I got to get that taste out my mouth because I'm just sitting here giving Dodgers credit, and that don't fly right. But credit is due when I don't have nothing against Mookie Betts. It's just the jersey he's wearing.
That's a known fact.
That's
and the fact that if you are a fan of the Boston Red Sox, you have to feel sick because the Red Sox just handed him to the Dodgers.
I mean, did they trade him or did he free agent?
He was traded to the Dodgers. The Dodgers extended him, but the Dodgers traded him, which even at that, a person that even didn't play that was part of the trade was David Price. He opted out for the season, obviously. So, and I know some Dodger fans were upset that they had let go Alex Verdugo, who Alex Verdugo is a tremendous talent, and he played very well for the Red Sox during this pandemic, even though the Red Sox didn't have much to play for because they were just absolutely horrible. And this is 2 years after you win the world title. But unfortunately for Verdugo, he was in a crowded outfield with Peterson and Bellinger, so he wasn't going to get no PT. So I understand why the Dodgers made the move. But if you're a Red Sox fan, it's like, how are you going to just hand him? How are you going to just hand him your best player?
Well, it goes hand in hand. I mean, I know I'm jumping sports. I know we're going to get into football here pretty soon, but it's almost like in Houston. Trade you easily just hand.
Here, Arizona. Let's give you DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson.
I mean, who?
Which my team has to get tortured by him twice a year, at least for the next decade. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Houston. And that's why your head coach got fired.
We'll get to that later. But to continue about your rant about what's going on with the Rays and how they pretty much choked themselves out of at least a game 7. I wouldn't say they choked themselves out of a game.
They handed them the game. Yes, they handed them game 6. I'm like, you screw about what the numbers say going through the order a third time. You are trying to get to a game 7. And game 7, anything can happen, all hands on deck. You are trying to play for tomorrow. You are trying to get to tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay? Barry Bonds only got to one World Series, never got the chance back.
Now you
Okay?
just
There have been a lot of great.
right now. I'm not happy.
Well, it's the unfortunate truth. But there have been a lot of great baseball players.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. Well,
That have gotten there and they've never gotten back. For Kevin Cash, you may never ever get back to the World Series ever again. And I know the Rays have been very good with the whole defensive shift. That's another thing I can't stand, the doggone shift. Why are you shifting with 2 outs? I can't say how many times the doggone shift cost the Giants some games and some runs this year. But that's another story for another show. But it's like, screw what's going on. My eyes are telling me I need to keep this man in the game. Okay, if you got Larry Chipper Jones, a Hall of Famer,
oh boy, he's going here.
saying, what the hell? Okay, Harold Reynolds, former All-Star on MLB Tonight on MLB Network.
Anything Harold will say. I mean,
Okay, he went off. Okay, John Smoltz, a Hall of Famer who was the color analyst on Fox during the World Series, didn't understand it.
Best
and
back
John
game.
And John Smoltz pitched one of the greatest Game 7s I've ever seen in my life, albeit in a loss, but it wasn't his fault. Jack Morris was just a little bit better back in 1991. But if you like Dwayne Kuiper said on Murph and Mack on KNBR, I laughed, but it was so true. He said, if Madison Bumgarner was on the mound and Kevin Cash tried to take him out, Bumgarner would have fought him. There would have been a fight on the pitcher's mound.
See, what you saying that proves to my point. You have these new school coaches trying to do this new school, analytics. Bruce Bochy is not doing that. Like you said, the eye test is what is telling you. We saw what Madison Bumgarner did in the Game 7. And what did Bochy ask him? How you feeling?
How you feel?
I'm not coming out the game. I'm not coming out the game. You just tell the bullpen to just sit down. I'm putting the team on my back. I know what I need to do. We're winning this World Series. It was no analytics. It was nothing. You saw, even when Bum did get in a situation, but did you think Bochy was over there sweating? Did you think he was looking at a computer talking about, is this the time to pull him out? No. My horse is out there. I'm going to ride him.
Not only that, I have Gerald Dempsey Posey III behind home plate throwing down signs.
I mean, I don't even think Posey was throwing down signs. I think Madison was just throwing whatever the hell he wanted. And if it got out of line, Posey would have rung him in, But that goes with what you're saying. Like I said, the eye test. You clearly saw that first. Everybody in Kansas City exhaled when they saw the big bulldog come out that bullpen.
Oh, it got quiet.
They were already defeated before he even walked to the mound.
Oh, it got quiet real quick.
And I told you the moment he coming out there, he's not coming out this game. He's put this team on his back because he wants to stamp his legacy.
It was we're winning or we're going down with number 40, and that's all there is to it.
And if we'd have lost that World Series, would I have been mad? No, because they took down our best player.
Mm-hmm.
I had all the confidence in the world. So but that's old school. Like you said on your Facebook post, it took a Padre who won the World Series, who's an old school player, to know how to manage a game. That's what's wrong with the Giants now. We have an analytical GM. And of course, we have the shift and we have analytics in San Francisco. Do I like it? No, because I believe the eye test always goes right. If you're out there playing damn good baseball, I don't care where your pitch count is. Madison Bumgarner would have been at 140 pitches. Do you think he was coming out that game? He'd have threw 200 pitches that night if he had to get that W.
Well, hell, Juan Marichal did in a 16 inning 1-0 game back in the 60s. And I just think about all the great old school pitchers. I'm like, you don't go get Sandy Koufax out, and Lord help you if you try to take out Bob Gibson. Bob Gibson would look at you and be like, "What the f are you doing out here? Like, go back to the dugout. I got this."
That's different. That's the difference in. I can't even say the difference because the man has won a Cy Young. I even text you before it even got to that situation. I'm saying Snell is dealing, and it's like you let that man pitch until it gets into a dire strait. And he was never in a situation to where, like I said earlier, he needed to be pulled out the game. And
well, you read his lips. You read the lips. He said the magical F word more than once, and the look on his face in the dugout when the Dodgers scored told the absolute story. You didn't need to say a word. And that night I said, Blake Snell, you deserve better. I'm sorry your manager didn't see it that way.
It goes to say the same thing as we say in football when the defense is on the field trying to protect the lead and the defensive coordinator decides to go into that prevent defense. Prevent defense prevents you from winning the game.
From winning. And like Herm Edwards says, you play to win the game.
Stick with what you've been going with. And obviously you see analytics cost you a game 7. So I don't, as much as you don't like it, I don't like it either. I'm all about old school baseball. You know, your pitchers are pitching your ace, the one who's getting paid the big dollars, should be out there pitching your game. We knew when the Giants made it to the wild card, we already knew who was the pitcher. There was no doubt about it who was going to be out there taking the mound. You know, and confidence.
And he went all 9 innings. That's called a complete game, boys and girls.
That's called, you know what? That's called you're giving your bullpen a break, and then your bullpen takes you out and give you Madison bombs. You know, because you took care of us the whole game. It's almost like you're running back taking care of your offensive line. You guys blocked for me all that time.
Steak dinners for everyone. The steak is on me. And speaking of the NFL, as we go into the NFL, a very, very big win on the shores of Lake Erie in some very unique conditions. It was wind, it was sleet, it was snow. Everything that the shores of Lake Erie could throw, but nonetheless.
Mother Nature showed her ass out in Cleveland, didn't she?
Oh, boy.
I mean, she was not messing around, and she made that game real difficult because the Raiders have one of the top kickers in the league. And one kick that he did, you clearly saw the Lance Stevenson blow. She took that ball and it just went like it was a golf swing, you know?
Oh, next Sunday night, that's going to be a doozy.
Well,
Saints and Buccaneers.
You get the two oldest quarterbacks in the league that still know how to get it done. You know, that's as we were sitting here just talking about, you know, before we did the show, about that the AFC West they're pretty well good with the quarterback situation. You know, even Carr being the old head.
The other statesman, yes.
These quarterbacks in the AFC West, I mean, even though the Chargers lost that game, but give credit to Drew Lock, a young quarterback who brought his team back. So, I mean, we don't even want to talk about that guy in Kansas City. I got to see that for 10 years if he finishes out that contract.
Yeah, well, I'll say this. Justin Herbert, the poise and just how he is just playing. I mean, it is not his fault the team is 2-5. Not at all.
There's nothing that rattles him. He stays in that pocket. I mean, that one touchdown that when he was scrambling to the right when they were in the red zone.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to throw it away. Nah. He's going to
found the fullback in the back of the end zone.
Well, as you would say in the old school, he found the gleam.
He did find the gleam.
I mean, but back to these old guys that just seem to, I mean, We beat one of them, but Brady torched us for 4 touchdowns, I believe, that game. And he just gets it done. And I hope he retires next year.
Well, it looks like the arm strength of Drew Brees is returning.
What?
Because early in the season, to me, my eyes were telling me it's not that. Because back to that Monday night game against the Raiders in the home opener, I'm just like, he's not pushing the ball downfield like he normally does. Something is wrong with his arm. And tonight against the Bears, and those were very windy conditions. Well, it is the Windy City, but in those conditions, I mean, he was slinging the ball like the old Drew Brees. But I will say this: 31 carries for 128 yards. Josh Jacobs is
Oh,
a bad,
oh.
bad,
Well,
bad young man.
if we're gonna get into this Cleveland Raider game, I'm just gonna. My game ball goes to the offensive line. Just flat out went out there because the Browns' rush defense is number 5 in the league.
Yes, they are.
Okay, they don't give up.
Vastly improved team.
They
Yes.
don't give up much rushing yards, and for us not to have Richie Incognito to lose Trent Brown before game time because somebody let air get into his IV. So it was almost like a Tyrod Taylor thing with the Inglewood Chargers.
Oh wow.
So hope it seems like he's going to stay overnight to get testing and stuff like that, but just not to be. And then we lose our backup, and so now we're down to our third, and then we have a replacement on the line. I mean, Tom Cable, hats off to him. I mean, I know I gave a hard time with bringing him back and stuff like that, but to go from what we did last week to this week, big ups. And in that weather condition, knowing that this was going to be a pound game where we have to run the rock. The Josh Jacobs did his thing, of course. I mean, we knew that since Alabama. You called that the steal of the draft when we drafted him.
I did.
That moment that card came in, that text message came from you in hot. You just said enjoy, and I was like, well, yeah, I know. But I give the credit to the offensive line, and I'm still skeptical of the defense. Yes, Gruden called out his defense. Yes, there's some tweaks, and it's so amazing to have 2-4 on the field. Having 2-4 on the field makes that defense a little bit better because he's a short tackler.
And he definitely likes to give his best assassin impersonation of Mr. Jack Tatum for sure.
Yes. But we do have a task coming up next week. We do have Mr. Herbert coming into the game. So that's
actually you guys are going to Inglewood. You guys are the road team.
Okay. I like that. We'll be the underdog again in that game. I'll take it.
Even though if it was under normal circumstances, it pretty much would have been like a home game because you're going back to Southern California. So in a sense, if it was a normal circumstance, SoFi Stadium definitely would have been more silver and black than powder blue and yellow. That's for damn sure.
For the fans that were allowed in Cleveland, I believe that it was more Raider Nation there than the Dog Pounds. So we travel in packs. That's how he is.
Well, just to finish your thought on the offensive line, for the Raiders offense, 45 carries for 208 yards. I would say that's bringing in the lunch pail and the hard hat for sure.
And on top of that, can we say that Derek Carr got loose a little bit today too?
He averaged almost 7 yards a run.
And with his runs, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to admit it. Every time I saw him scrambling, I was over here holding my breath because he has a tendency to fumble the ball.
Yes, he does.
And on that keeper he fumbled the ball. And remember where there was a certain running back that was coming out of Utah?
Yes.
What did I say when every time he was there and the Raiders came up to pick, and I was like, this should be the pick. This should be the pick. I mean, not trying to be Nostradamus here, but he looks good in silver and black, and his name is Devontae Booker. I wanted that man when he came out of Utah. So big ups to him because I believe his running lit a fire under Jacobs' ass because those are Jacobs' carries that he was. Of course, you give a break here and there, but he was on the field. And you saw after that one run, Jacobs came in the game and was like, okay, I need this ball, and I'm going to run this ball. And if them two can get going, just imagine when we get back a healthy Trent Brown and a healthy Richie, and that line is 100%.
It could be a la Tyron Wheatley and Kaufman and Charlie Garner all over again.
So I'm happy with the outcome, but what I would like to talk about is this team out of Pittsburgh. What is going on out there with the terrible towels?
Well, for one thing, the defense has come back to life in Blitzburg.
So are we calling the steel curtain again?
Well, they are ranked number one for a reason. And I mean, it definitely didn't help that one of their main cogs, Devin Bush, went out for the season with a torn ACL, which you never want to see. But I mean, Casey Hayward and Stephon Tuitt and Bud Dupree and of course TJ Watt have just been playing spectacular, but it's been the secondary with Minkah Fitzpatrick and Joe Hayden holding down on the back end of the secondary.
Oh, the two quietest pick Steelers has got right there. I mean, you forget that Joe Hayden is still in the league.
Yeah, and he's been doing it for a long time.
Hey, thank you. But and then you put Minkah Fitzpatrick on the other side, and then you throw in matter of fact, I don't even know who their safeties are, but that deep, I got the Steelers defense in my, I believe in my, in one of the fantasies, but Ben is out there playing with a purpose, and I watched his little thing on the pregame, and Ben is in the right place. And I told you this after I forgot what game it was. I think it was, did they play Thursday night already? Or was it a Monday night game? It was whenever one of the games won.
It was Monday night against the Giants opening day.
That interview he had, you clearly saw he is repentant for his misendeavors. We're not going to tap that. We're not going to speak on it. But you see that he is in a damn good place. And that interview he did today, yes, he won 3 Super Bowls. But what the question was,
he won 2. Went to 3, won 2. You remember, he lost. No, the Packers, Aaron Rodgers.
It was. Okay, excuse me. But you can clearly see that he's humble and it's not about he wants to win the next Super Bowl for that offensive line of his.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, he has said it more than once. He came back for his teammates. He came back for them.
And that's scary.
Yeah, very scary.
That's very scary when he's out there playing lights out football like that. And the Ravens had many chances.
Oh yes, definitely.
That was a real good game. I was happy to watch that one. That was But 7-0. That the Steelers might make a good run. And I don't see nobody right now getting in their way because they're playing with a clear purpose. And it seems like Mike Tomlin has got that team well tuned. And as you said earlier, the best well-ran organization in NFL. I mean, the Rooneys just know how to do it from top to bottom.
It's been that way for damn near 60 years.
And 4 coaches.
3 head coaches in 50-plus years.
In their existence, right?
Well, since the Chief Art Rooney took over, I mean, from 1969 until now, Chuck Noll was hired in 69.
Right.
Stayed there until 91. Bill Cowher was there from 92 to the end of 2007. And Mike Tomlin's been there since 2008, which, by the way, Mike Tomlin has not had a losing record. And speaking of Mike Tomlin, kudos to him. His win today has him as the all-time winningest minority head coach in NFL history. Yes. Kudos to him. I know some people have wanted him to call for his job, but I mean, I'm just like, why? All Mike Tomlin has done is win in Pittsburgh.
And well, Pittsburgh don't fire their coaches. They
No, they don't.
they retire on their own, and they stick to it. Just because you have, well, we can't say he's had a mishap season, but even when they were 7-9 that one year, was it 7-9 or was it 7-8-1 or whatever? They had that tie that one year, and it wasn't their best year. They stuck with him. And look what's going on. They're back to their winning ways. You just don't up and root your coach. You stick with it. And that's what I do respect about the Steelers. I don't like them, but I respect the organization and how it's ran.
Oh no question. They're like the Spurs, the two best ran organizations I have seen in my lifetime. But one thing I must say, Chase Claypool from Notre Dame might be the steal of the 2020 draft. I mean, I know he did some things at Notre Dame, but I'm like, this is not the young man I saw in Notre Dame making plays like this.
Yeah, he's making things happen. He's getting out there and doing it. So the next game, how about the Dolphins and the Rams?
Apparently, Brian Flores knew something that we did not know, because a lot of us were like, why go to Tua now? I mean, Fitzpatrick has not done anything to relinquish his role. They've won 2 straight. They're at 500, and again, this just proves my point of what I've been saying about the Inglewood Rams, of them being overrated. Okay, they beat the very sorry NFC East. We all know that division is sorry. Okay. The Chicago Bears are the most overrated 5-3 team I've ever seen. Even though I love Roquan Smith and I love Khalil Mack, but they're overrated. And the Rams beat an overrated Bears team. Then when they had to play some competition, like my unfortunate injury-riddled football team that we'll talk about in a second, but they played against them, they got handled pretty well. They played against the Bills. The Bills really should have just ran the floor with them, but they allowed them to get back in the game, but the Bills still won the game. And then, even when the Dolphins were 1-3 and they were coming to Santa Clara to play the 49ers, I kept saying, this is not a normal 1-3 team.
No.
Brian Flores has that team playing whatever he is preaching. They are buying into it, and they are playing hard for that coaching staff. And I mean, you think of all the players that they traded, and you almost kind of felt bad for Devontae Parker, because Devontae Parker's like the last man standing, per se, from the last time the Dolphins made the playoffs, which is a couple of seasons ago. But they just, when you can get the locker room to believe in what you're saying and be like, stick with it, we're on the right path, the players will run through a wall for you. Happens all the time. And definitely all 3 phases for the Dolphins worked today, because they got a defensive touchdown, and Mr. Grant is a very, very, very fast man. You give him 18 inches of daylight, and that's all he needs.
Just gonna run into the house. Pretty much.
And they're in the thick of things in the playoff race. So just to go through all the scores today so far in Week 8, as we are sadly already halfway through the 2020 season, and this is where you normally get sad.
Oh, man.
But we'll go down through the highlights. Starting with Thursday night, the Atlanta Falcons actually held a lead in the 4th quarter. They beat the Panthers 25-17. Panthers go to 3-5. Falcons 2-6. Actually, the Falcons have won the last 6 of 7 against the Panthers. Yeah, we'll get to this performance later on, but the Green Bay Packers, what in the heck? lose at home to the Vikings 28-22, and I'm pretty sure Mr. Cousins was having a lot of "you like that" in the locker room, but definitely Mr. Dalvin Cook, and we'll get to his performance in a second. He should be getting a free steak tonight, or maybe a free steak for the whole doggone week. Steelers hold on to beat the Ravens 20-24. The Steelers, of course, last team left that's undefeated. We just talked about the Dolphins beating the Rams 28-17. And for the Dolphins, that's their first 3-game winning streak, winning by 10 points or more for the first time since 2014. That's a long time. The Chiefs.
Just go ahead. Just go to the next score. Just go to the next game.
The East Rutherford Jets need some help, and they are officially on the clock. 35-9, the final score. And the Colts.
Before you go to the next score, let me just sneak in this one question. You can continue.
Okay.
Will the Jets win the game this year?
um, I really
Okay.
don't. I really don't see where.
Question. So the bonus question: how does Adam Gase still have a job?
It's the Jets. That's my answer. It's
Okay.
the Jets.
Back to the rundown in the scores. I just want to sneak that in real quick.
Well, no. I mean, since you mentioned the Jets, I'm trying to look at the rest of the schedule here. So okay, so you just got thrashed by the Chiefs. So, oh dear God, they're playing on Monday Night Football next Monday against the Patriots.
I will be watching that. Well, you know what? The Patriots are not all that hot either, so you never know what you're going to do with that game.
No, they're not. And they're at home. So the greatest comeback in Monday Night history came between the Jets and Dolphins. So they're in their bye week. Then week 10, they go to Inglewood to play the Chargers. And given the Chargers can't hold leads in the fourth quarter, possibly.
Maybe, yes.
They're playing the Dolphins. That's an L. They're playing your Raiders. That's an L. I'm sorry.
Is it in Rutherford or in Las Vegas?
In East Rutherford, but I still think you guys are going to beat the Jets.
We're playing better in the East Coast time zone, so I have a little confidence in that.
Then they go to the Pacific Northwest. They're not winning against Russ. Then they come back to Inglewood again to play the Rams. No. And then they play against the Browns. Maybe.
So possibly 3-13, 2-14 finish.
Yes, possibly. And they finish the season at Foxborough. So, I mean, anybody that's 0-8 would have been fired by now. And Adam Gase still has a job.
Very interesting.
I'm like Kevin Hart. Help me. Anyways, off the bye week, the Indianapolis Colts put up a 40-burger in the Motor City on the Lions.
Not one, but 2 flips.
Yeah. But Phillip Rivers had himself a very nice afternoon, and Jordan Wilkins carrying the load for the Colts on the day rushing the ball. They go to 5-2, maintain their lead. Actually, they're in a first place tie because the Cincinnati Bengals give the Titans their second straight loss. And ladies and gentlemen, Joe Burrow is indeed the truth. That young man is going to be good, and he's only going to get better.
Indeed.
As he progresses. He definitely was the right pick for the Bengals. As to mention the Patriots, the Orchard Park Bills
are serious, ladies and gentlemen.
Are serious. And I did pick them to win the East. And my God, Cam, At least you made the effort to go after the fumble this time, after you didn't in Super Bowl 50. But that's another story for another day. But the Bills do hold on to win against the Patriots 24-21 as they prepare for the Seahawks to come up to Orchard Park next week.
That should be a good game.
And we already talked about it, but the shootout between Drew Lock and Justin Herbert ends with KJ Hammer's butt cheeks staying in and the Broncos hold on to beat the Chargers 31-30. The Saints beat the Bears in overtime 26-23.
Good game.
And the Eagles maintain their lead in the NFC East, winning 23-9. And then there's my team that sometimes I just want to slap the heck out of the head coach. Yes, it'll say that my team lost by 10, but the score was indicative of how the game was actually played. The Seahawks just dominated the Niners, and you would think this would be the Niners' best chance to win, considering that there is no 12th man, there's no crowd noise, so you did need a silent count and all that. But here again, going back to what I said with being the coach or manager. Okay, your eyes show you, okay, how is my team looking? Okay, and from what I saw, Jimmy Garoppolo does not trust his ankle. I still think he was rushed back too soon to come back against the Rams. Now, again, granted, if you win, not a big fuss.
Correct.
They came in winning 2 straight games, looking very good against the Rams, and thrashing the Patriots. To which, again, the running game was working. And for the life of me, I didn't understand why in the hell they started Tevin Coleman. Again, Tevin Coleman has been a good player. He's been a solid player. But the man has not played in 4 weeks. Why in the hell are you starting him? Okay, you're not utilizing McKinnon, and then you decide to utilize him late in the fourth quarter. I'm not understanding why they didn't keep feeding JaMycal Hasty. JaMycal Hasty could be another version of Raheem Mostert if you just give him the doggone ball. I'm just like, you can't saying what's your identity. Your identity is you are a running football team that sets up the pass. And my thing is, and I said this before the second half started, I said, Garoppolo's not right. You're seeing it on his throws. Now, granted, on the interception, Kittle slipped. But how did you not see Kendrick Bourne wide open in the end zone for a touchdown? The man was open. And again, this is what I go back to. Okay, I understand you want to get Kittle the ball. I get it. Just like the Chiefs make sure they get Travis Kelce involved. I understand you want to get Kittle involved. But dang it, give your receivers a chance to go for a 50-50 ball, as Dante Whitner said on 49ers postgame live on NBC Sports Bay Area. And also get into what Jeff Garcia said, which I do agree, and it is true. But my thing is, he should have went to Nick Mullins to start the second half, not wait to put him in the fourth quarter, because in the fourth quarter, Mullins did lead them to 20 points. Obviously, the game was over by then, and the Seahawks were playing a different defense. But the fact is, Mullins led him to scores. Now, something that Jeff Garcia said at the end of the game, he was saying that when it comes to processing the offense and running the offense, and I happen to agree with him, Nick Mullins does run the offense better than Jimmy Garoppolo. When it comes to processing and getting the ball out, Mullins is a lot better than Garoppolo.
Yeah.
But the unfortunate thing is when Mullins has to play or has to start and teams watch film on him, Mullins doesn't do so well.
Right.
So the thing is this: if you don't have the guy, then draft a quarterback till you have him. Because I mean, they passed on Deshaun Watson. A lot of teams did. They passed on Patrick Mahomes, to which I bet you the Chicago Bears wish they had that chance to do all over again.
Excuse me. Yes.
And oh, by the way, you just happen to play the guy that you passed on 15 years ago on a short week, and he's pissed off because he lost home to the Vikings. Yeah, you passed on Aaron Rodgers too. Good lord. Um, and I even said this morning, I mean, how good would Justin Herbert look in red and gold right now? My God. Um, I mean, here's the thing. They said that they should have signed. I said I understand it. It would have made more sense. But again, you don't know what Brady you're going to get. Now, Brady the last couple of weeks
Yeah.
has looked good, but
Yeah.
also Brady can look like what I saw last year.
Brees, or he can look like Drew Brees, and
Yeah.
right
So
side.
it's like, so
Eric
so
Pack.
it's like I don't know which Brady you're going to get. Now, Matt Ryan. No, I don't want Matt Ryan. He's getting up there in age. Kirk Cousins. Hell no. Damn it, no.
Would you take a shot at Tyrod Taylor if he comes available?
The only issue I have with Tyrod Taylor is his accuracy. I mean, I wish he would get a fair chance because the man has skill. It's just he's never gotten an unfortunate chance to prove himself. Um,
Of course.
now, of course, a friend of mine who's a fellow Hunter fan was talking about trade for Matthew Stafford. Of course, me being a Georgia Bulldog fan, that put a smile on my face. But and
He's
and
getting up
and,
there
and
stuff.
yeah, he is. But the thing about Stafford is he's definitely not afraid to sling it, and sometimes I know gunslinger quarterbacks, get the wrong end of the shaft sometimes, but at the same time I respect it because it's like what, I'm gonna give my guy a chance to go make a play, and if it gets picked, it gets picked. But damn it, I'm giving him a chance to go get that sucker.
Right.
I mean, that's the way, Brett Favre was. That's the way Joe Namath was. Um, you know, that's just, how it is sometimes. Give a guy a chance to go get the ball. Now, tomorrow's game probably will not be entertaining because it's the Giants. Even though I do like Daniel Jones, I think Daniel Jones could have the ability to be something if his guys can stay healthy. I mean, he's got targets in Sterling Shepard
Yes.
and Ingram and Slayton, and of course one of my favorite players to watch, Saquon Barkley. I mean, if they can just put it together,
Right.
Daniel Jones can be a player. Um, and unfortunately, it looks like Tampa Bay is starting to peak at the right time.
Yeah. 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 I don't think I'm gonna tune in to tomorrow's game. I'll probably, I don't know, watch something else. It's not gonna. Doesn't seem like
Now, now is Antonio Brown playing tomorrow? Or is he not playing until week 9?
week 9.
Week 9, okay. So one more week and then it's the AB
It's a
show.
show.
I don't know. But to go back to what you said earlier about his cousin tweeting that tweet. Um, did you not learn anything from your cousin? Okay, your cousin's been out the league for almost 2 years and has been trying to get back in.
They
It's
don't care.
like, but again, why are you being a head case? Okay, sometimes the head case overwhelms the talent. And I said that about Terrell Owens. As great as and I mean, obviously he's a legend, Hall of Fame player, great player. The last time my team had a true number one wide receiver, and this is going on almost 20 years. But unfortunately, sometimes it's just like the head case and the things that he would say or do would just outweigh the talent.
Right.
But looking back on it now, some of the stuff you said was true because, again, I have all the respect in the world for Donovan McNabb, but how's it you're out of shape and you're playing in the Super Bowl and you're throwing up in the huddle? I mean, what's going on here? Did you have too much chunky Campbell soup? But
That's possible.
but 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 I agree with if you're going to tweet it, don't delete it.
Own
Own
it.
up to it.
Own it. Yeah. I mean, especially that people are looking at you, and the moment you hit that send button, somebody's on it. That's why I make screenshots for it. You will never, if you just did it. You just own it. Yeah, I said it. So what? I'm mad. I didn't get enough targets today.
Yeah. And
Just
I mean any number one wide receiver would say that, but there's a way that you go about it. You just don't, you know, throw your quarterback under the bus.
correct. Correct. That was yeah. I don't understand that. These divas nowadays, man. I don't get it. I do not get it.
And Jerry Rice can still run better routes than all of them.
Oh
And,
boy.
and Jerry Rice is damn near 60.
I don't know. Hunter Renfro might give him a run for his money.
Well, he definitely knows how to find the sticks and find the ball. That's for sure.
He,
He definitely was a steal. I just wish Edwards can get healthy because I just like Edwards. I really do.
I think we get everybody back next week. I think we get Arnett back. I think we'll get Edwards back. I think we'll get Incognito back. Parent any setbacks with Trent Brown, he should be out there next week. So
And
one
that's an, and that's another thing. If you actually have your full complement of offensive line, y'all really could possibly do some things.
indeed. Indeed.
But again, you're over 500 and still in the thick of a wild card spot.
And
Remember,
beat you
it's 7 playoff spots this year, boys and girls, not 6.
exactly. I'll take it. Any way it can come. Uh,
Well, one more thing before we say so long for now. You always talk about people that be like, why do they keep having jobs? And this is a tough one because he did help resurrect my football team. But Jim Harbaugh, my goodness,
oh, we're
you
going.
can't.
Are we talking college now? Okay. That's how we're gonna end it off. Okay. I'll tell you this. His job, he got hired to come beat Ohio State.
Yes,
That was the reason why that he was called to take on that. He has not beat Ohio State.
he has not.
It seems like Michigan State always finds a way to stick it to him.
Well, this is twice that I've known that he's lost a state in the big house.
That's what I'm saying. They found a way to stick, and but see, he's not going to lose the job because his name brings talent. So that's why,
I don't disagree.
the reason why he has almost like that Saban kind of thing. He's gonna bring the talent. That's it. He's his recruiting. So that's why I don't think they're never gonna let him go.
Yeah, but I mean, okay. Now, his college record is very impressive. It's career record of 77 and 40. That's a 658 winning percentage. He wins 65% of his game. In the 6 years at Michigan, he's 48 and 19. That's a 716 winning percentage. Here's what he's done since he's come to his alma mater. This is his 5th year at Michigan. Came in 2015. 15 and 16 went 10 and 3. 2017 went 8 and 5. 2018 went 10 and 3. Last year went 9 and 4. So, I mean, yes, he's not winning the big games, but he's been a consistent winner everywhere he has gone.
Yeah, actually,
And
this on top of that, let me be the devil's advocate. And as I just sit here and told you the reason why he was brought there, Okay, so number one, he hasn't beat Ohio State, which he was brought there. But how many bowl games has he won?
Now, that's another good question. He is at Michigan. He is 1-4 in bowl games. The only bowl, the only bowl he won was the Orange Bowl. No, that was at Stanford. The only bowl he's won since he's come to Michigan was the Citrus Bowl, and that's in his first year. He lost the Orange Bowl, lost the Outback Bowl, lost the Peach Bowl, lost in the Citrus Bowl. So he is on a 4 bowl game losing streak. So he is 2-5 in bowl games, 1-1 at Stanford, 1-4 at Michigan.
So, yeah, that lets you know why he's still there, because his name.
Well, he definitely should be on the hot seat with that loss to Michigan State.
Oh yeah,
I'm just saying.
I think he won't get hit until the Ohio State game.
Very well could be. And, well, looks like Clemson football's in very good hands at quarterback. If and when Trevor Lawrence decides to go for greener pastures in the NFL. Because that young man played a heck of a game.
Yeah, and also I believe who was Clemson playing in that game again? Was it Boston College?
They're playing Boston College, yes.
Boston College beat themselves a lot in that game too because they were up, and
they were.
But the difference is the heart of a champion. We know that the will. We've been here before. You know, we don't go away from what like you mentioned earlier. The Spurs. The Spurs can be down by 30 points, but guess what they're going to do? They're going to run the same offense. We're going to run the same defense. Because you know why? It works. You think we're going to change stuff up, but no. We're going to sit here and stick to the core. That's what Dabo Swinney does. He sticks to the core, and he makes those players believe in him. And when you have that, you can bring in, DeAndre can go out there and hand the ball off. And when you got Ian team back there, that's all you need.
Oh, yeah, Travis Etienne is that's going to be a bad man when he gets to the NFL. My goodness.
And I hope he gets to the right offensive team because his talent should not go to waste because he can do it all.
I agree. 1,010%. And, well, that's going to be a very intriguing matchup between the Tigers and the Irish next Saturday.
I will be watching.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And what is going on in Baton Rouge, Louisiana? As the defending national champions, the Bayou Bengals have really fallen back down to reality and took a 37 shellacking at the hands of the Auburn Tigers War Eagle.
Just nasty. I got no words, no comment. It was just atrocious. And that was it.
Well, I'm definitely going to change my final rapid fire. I was going to go talking about something that happened 10 years ago, but then I just realized I really have to talk about this subject also. So when we get to rapid fire, I'll just hold that for that.
What you got? What you got?
Well, since we're to that subject, here's my rapid fire. Nick Wright.
I can't stand that guy. I cannot stand that.
Of Fox Sports.
I cannot.
Okay. You have been a LeBron slurper, a LeBron apologist, amongst many other things. Okay. But for you to say that Vincent Edward Jackson, better known to others as Bo, the greatest cheat code in video game football history.
I read what he said. I know where you're going with this. Yeah.
Maybe you were not born yet during Bo Jackson's athletic prime, but Vincent Edward Jackson was already a freakish athlete. And when Bo said that he would average almost 300 and 400 yards a game,
He wasn't.
um,
He believed it.
um, I when he was already looking like a grown man in football pads, and this is dealing with the weights and technology in the 80s. I'm like, okay, if you take Bo's physique from the 80s and put that with today's equipment of today, um,
With that 4-1 speed coming out the side. I mean,
um, Bo Jackson, if he wanted to, could have been an Olympian and could have won an Olympic gold medal. Instead, he was an all star in two sports. And to the fans that say, well, his numbers didn't do much, hello, he played baseball until the end of September and came halfway during the football season. Okay, he averaged 5.5 yards per carry for his football career. Just think if he did that in a full 16-game season.
he probably would have been averaging 2,000 yards a year. Season. Easy.
Okay. Ask Brian Bosworth about Vincent Edward Jackson. Go on YouTube, go push up Monday Night Football from 1987 when Bo ran through the tunnel and was on his way to Tacoma from the Kingdom.
I have no words for Nick Wright, and I'll just piggyback off your rapid fire with that, and then we'll end it off that. You know, I never liked Nick Wright for number one because, as you said, he talks about LeBron like LeBron is like Jesus to him. I like he's on LeBron's payroll. Like there's nothing that LeBron can do. LeBron can go 0 for 16, 10 turnovers. Oh well, the King just had a bad day. What, bro? Like, it, no, yeah. Yeah, I never liked Nick Wright, so yeah. So, but Bo Jackson, he's overrated. Really, really overrated. I would like to know his top running back list. I like who, what made Bo so overrated. I mean, he shared the backfield with a Hall of Famer by the name of Marcus Allen, and they
And
both.
even then, Marcus was still underutilized.
So I don't know. I don't know.
Heck, heck, Marcus should have played quarterback instead of Mark Wilson. Marcus Allen threw the ball better than Mark Wilson.
Crazy, crazy. But yeah, Nick, right? Nick, he needs to do some more research before he make comments like that. Just stick to being on LeBron's payroll, and I'm trying to make Fox Sports look good because other than that, you're a goober. Get out of here with that.
Oh,
But
oh.
I'll end my piece with saying that today NFL games were exciting. There was a lot of stuff that shows me that football is also needed. No, I'm gonna have two rapid fires real quick.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna say
Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna say football is good, and then I'm gonna just say this, and you can say what you have to say, and then we'll say goodnight to Canada and everything like that. Tank Davis uppercut, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
If you
But
did not, if you did not see Gervonta Tank Davis and Leo Santa Cruz, and first off, let me just say this: we hope Leo Santa Cruz is okay first and foremost,
yes, most definitely,
and it's not like the man has a glass jaw; the man can take a punch.
you can.
But
But
by God, when you have powers to knock somebody out with both hands, and that was one of the most flush uppercuts I have seen
but
landed in a very long time.
but before we got to the uppercut, Tank ate about 3 or 4 punches before
Yes, he did.
So the thing about
Yes,
it was he had that uppercut plant in his mind how he was going to throw it. Because after that last punch he ate, it was just, huh, you. If you blink, you might have missed it because it was that damn quick. He snapped it, and he was out of there under the ring. Good night. So as Santa Cruz was on the ground saying good night, I'm gonna say good night on top of that because there's nothing else to be said after this amazing sports weekend we didn't have, from the college football games to Tank uppercut to all this. Tua winning his first game as a starter. Jets, I don't know what's going on with the Jets. Are they ever going to win a game? You know, so it's pretty good. Pretty good day today.
Well, I might as well just throw it in there too. But damn it, by God, happy anniversary, San Francisco Giants, because it was on this date, and hard to believe it's already been 10 years. But by God, all the heartbreak that we've gone through as Giants fans, without the swing of the bat from one Edgar Renteria, we never would have had that moment as the beard strikes out Nelson Cruz, and all you hear is tremendous screaming in between Fairfield, California and Las Vegas, Nevada, as we just lost our minds as Brian Wilson finally brought it home. But a tremendous moment. And we just won at one. They ended up giving us 2 more after that. But
I'm happy.
Definitely happy anniversary to the Giants. And hopefully this next decade with this new young core that's in the minors just waiting to come up, hopefully they can duplicate that same feeling as we experienced the last decade. But definitely happy anniversary to Edgar Torria, to Tim Lincecum, who was lights out on that night. And on that night, they definitely let Timmy smoke because he was smoking some good.
You darn tootin'. You darn tootin'.
But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another edition of the Mizzle Dub Show. Órale, buenas noches, Mexico.
Thank you, everybody that will watch this show. We will cook up another one real soon.
Yes, indeed.
All right, brother. Good talking.
Indeed.
To the next one.
Good night, Canada.